Good morning, everybody. It's Kurt here and Lucy as well in Port Orchard, Washington. My last day today with my group coach or my coach, Margene Christensen, was today. Um, we decided my thing I think has to be organization and focus. Um, and today I'm going to continue with Earl Nightingale's dissertation of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, the eighth principle. I'm going to go all the way through the 11th today to get some stuff out of the way. I'm trying to condense so I can get going and start uh, my focus, get that nailed down. Anyway, number 8 principle of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich is persistence. The power of willpower, and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. Persistence to an individual is what carbon is to steel. In uncounted thousands of cases, persistence has stood as the difference between success and failure. It is this quality more than any other that keeps the majority from great accomplishment. Sure, they'll try a thing out, but as soon as the going gets tough, they fold. And experience for thousands of people have proved that lack of persistence is a weakness common to a majority of men. And this was done back in the 40s, I think, in the 50s, and they were a different breed back then, and they didn't focus on women much. So this might be a little put offish to some of you, but this is the way we learned. It is a weakness that is overcome by effort. If you're to accomplish the desire you've set for yourself, you must form the habit of persistence. Things will get dark, and it will seem as though there's no longer any reason to continue. Everything in you will tell you to give up trying, and it's right here that men are separated from the boys. It's right here that if you'll go that extra mile and keep going, that the skies will clear, and you'll begin to see the first signs of the abundance that will be yours because you had the courage to persist. With persistence comes success. She's with me. With persistence comes success. Persistence is a state of mind, therefore it can be cultivated like all states of mind. Persistence is based on definite causes, among them these. 1. Definiteness of purpose, knowing what you want. 2. Desire. 3. Self-reliance. 4. Definiteness of plans. 5. Accurate knowledge, knowing that your plan is sound. 6. Cooperation. Sympathy, understanding, and harmonious cooperation with others tend to develop persistence. 7. Willpower. 8. Habit. Persistence is the direct result of habit. Habit. Persistence is the direct result of habit. Then we go into the 9th principle. Like I told you, we had 3 or 4 of them to do today. The 9th principle is the power of the mastermind. It is in this section that Napoleon Hill describes the importance of forming a group of individuals sympathetic to your desire. They may be individuals with similar plans. A mastermind group can be made up of 2 or more individuals. No 2 minds come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force, which may be likened to a third mind. You may have noticed many times by discussing something with another individual, you suddenly get good ideas as a result of this association. Ideas you would not have gotten without this association. The same thing happens to the other person. A lot of good ideas have been born in individual minds as a result of having been met in committee. Associating in your mastermind group is not as a means of letting others do your thinking for you. Far from it. It is to stimulate your own thinking. By that, you know what I mean. Stimulates more ideas in your head that maybe you wouldn't have thought of to mention or thought of, period. So, with the help of somebody else bringing it out, like Margene does to me, um, through the association of other minds. No one knows everything. The more sympathetic minds you get together, and by sympathetic I mean working for a common purpose, the more related information is going to be available. And great ideas are a combination of related information. So pick the member or members of your mastermind group with care. Make sure they are people you respect and are hardworking and conscientious. You'll all have a lot of fun and you'll all reach your goals that much sooner. The 10th principle could be called enthusiasm. That is the enthusiasm that comes from channeling of all bodily drives into positive, worthwhile outlets. It is in this chapter that Napoleon Hill describes the importance of the woman, the one and only woman, in the achievement of a worthwhile goal. It seemed quite significant that practically every great leader was a man whose achievement were largely inspired by a woman. Remember, I said this was done way back in the 50s and 60s, 40s maybe even. I think it was 49 when I think Earl said he first picked up this book. So it's quite geared to the men out there, not so much the women. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm not making any references to that. So I'm just letting you know. When things get tough, and you can count on it, they will. You may be deserted by what you thought were friends, but if you got a good woman, you will never be alone. She'll be willing to start over again if necessary, and she'll give you the new enthusiasm that comes through her faith in you. Having someone to love is having someone to share your success and accomplishment, to give you the praise that all of us need from time to time. A man can become successful without a wife and family, but all the joy is taken out of it. Take care of your wife and your children as your greatest possessions. And here we go into the 11th principle. The 11th principle has to do with the subconscious mind, one of my favorite things. It consists of a field of consciousness in which every impulse or of thought that reaches the objective mind through any of the five senses is classified and can be recorded from thoughts that may be recalled or withdrawn, as letters may be taken from a filing cabinet. It receives and files sense impressions or thoughts, regardless of their nature. You may voluntarily plant in your subconscious mind any plan or thought or purpose which you desire to translate into its physical or monetary equivalent. The subconscious acts first on the dominating desires which have been mixed with emotional feeling, such as faith. Your subconscious mind works night and day through a method of procedure unknown to man. The subconscious draws upon the forces of infinite intelligence for the power with which it voluntarily transmutes one's desires into their physical equivalent, making use always of the most practical media by which this may be accomplished. You cannot entirely control your subconscious mind, but you voluntarily hand over to it any plan, desire, or purpose which you wish transformed into a concrete form. In other words, without you consciously doing it, it actually becomes so. That's what I'm getting out of that. No one knows very much about what we call the subconscious or unconscious mind. We do know that it is incalculably powerful and can solve our problems if we go about using it the right way. And the best way is to hold in your conscious mind, as often as possible, a clear picture of yourself already having accomplished your goal. Now that's what Vic says, right? We think in pictures. You know what you want, define it clearly, and then project it on the motion picture screen of your mind. Hold it. See yourself doing the things and having the things you'll have when your objective will have been reached. Do this as often as possible as you go about your daily work, and particularly at night just before you go to sleep, and the first thing upon arising. As you do this, your subconscious mind will begin to lead you into the most logical ways towards your objective. Don't fight it. Follow the sudden hunches, the ideas that come into your mind, knowing that it's your subconscious trying to get through to your conscious mind. If you'll keep at this, you'll be amazed and delighted by the wonderful ideas that just seem to come from nowhere. Ideas that are in the in the next principle, we'll talk some more about this sixth sense that seems to control the lives. The sixth sense that seems to control the lives of great men and women. But it comes from a systematic triggering of the subconscious mind. The lives of the great men and women that seem miraculous to the average person are nothing more than the fulfillment of the burning desire through the power of their subconscious minds. Time means nothing to your subconscious minds. A man could work steadily at his job for 40 years and not accomplish as much as is possible in 3 or 4 years through the proper working of this principle. Your subconscious mind cannot remain idle. If you fail to plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will feed upon the thoughts which reach to it as a result of your neglect. Remember that you're living daily in the midst of all manner of thought impulses which are reaching your subconscious mind without your knowledge. Some of these impulses are negative, some are positive. You are now engaged in trying to shut off the flow of negative impulses and to aid in voluntarily influencing your subconscious mind through positive impulses of desire. When you achieve this, you'll possess the key, which unlocks the door to your subconscious mind. Know what you want, decide once and for all that it will be yours. Remain steadfast on your course, propelled by faith, and your subconscious or unconscious mind will do the rest. And tomorrow I'm going to get into the 12th principle of the brain. Hopefully I'll get that and the 13th done, and we'll call this a wrap on this book for now. And again, I'm going to be opening up my other, forum, for lack of a better word, in Facebook. And I'll get back to you with more on that later when I have time to get around to doing it. And anyway, guys, it's been great. It's Saturday morning, and I still got the rest of the weekend. You guys take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.